Ngayon pala is ibabahagi ko ang buhay ni Jose Laurel. Ako nga pala si Saif Masorong, and si Jose Laurel ay pinanganak noong March 9, 1891 sa Tanauan, Batangas. Ang kanyang magulang ay sila Sotero Laurel and Jacoba Garcia, and his father was the Secretary of the Interior in Emilio Aguinaldo's cabinet and signatory to the Malolos Constitution. A prisoner during the Filipino-American War and died in activity in 1902 when Laurel was only 11 years old. He worked as an altar boy and chorister, part-time labor at the Bureau of Forestry when he turned 18, and he became a clerk for the Code Committee where he met Thomas Atkins Street, a future member of the Philippine Supreme Court who served as his mentor. And Laurel had 9 children with his wife, Paciencia, several of which would also enter politics. In 1922, he was an attorney. The name of Laurel's children were Mariano Antonio Laurel, Natividad Laurel, Sotero Laurel II, Jose Laurel III, Jose Laurel Jr., Resenda Paciencia Laurel, Salvador Laurel, Potencia Laurel Yupanco. He ranked second in his class of 60 and also came out of second in the 1915 bar examination. Laurel received his law degrees from the University of the Philippines in 1915 and from Yale University in 1920. He was also selected to the Philippine Senate in 1925. Appointed Associate Justice of the Supreme Court in 1936. He was also the third President of the Republic of the Philippines by the Nation Assembly on the September 25, 1943, inducted on October 14, 1943. This was during the Japanese occupation of the Philippines 1942 and 1942 to 1945 in World War II. And then he was elected to the Philippine Senate in 1925 and appointed Associate Justice of the Supreme Court in 1936. And he took a special courses in international law at Oxford University in England and in the University of Paris in France before returning to the Philippines in 1921. Laurel offered his service to the Japanese Imperial Army when it occupied the country. It was because of his criticism of U.S. rule of the Philippines that the Japanese appointed him to the series of high posts during the 3 years of military rule. Laurel was also favored by the Japanese, being the only Filipino to hold the honorary degree from Tokyo Imperial University. And with that, marami siyang achievement sa buhay niya. Ito ay nabanggit ko na nga yung iba, and then ito pa nga yung iba niyang achievement. He was the Secretary of the Interior of Leonard Wood's cabinet, Senator for the 5th Senatorial District in Batangas, Mindoro, Tayabas, Cavite, and Marinduque, and Majority Floor Leader, and who is also delegate in 1934, 1935 Constitution Convention, and he was also Associate Justice of the Supreme Court in 1936 to 1941, and the Secretary of Justice Quezon Cabinet in 1941, Acting Chief Justice of the Supreme Court 1941, and Commission of Justice Commissioner of the Interior 1942 to 1943. It was the Japanese occupation that time. And also President Preparatory Committee on the Philippine Independence in 1942 and 1943. And He died, and also Laurel founded the Lyceum of the Philippines University in 1952. And on November 6, 1959, he died of a massive heart attack and stroke at the Lourdes Hospital in Manila. And that's it, ma'am. Thank you.